It's time for another game here as we jump in to the map Giza. On the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Tsukuyomi. Is he going to bring a present or is he going to bring coal? We are past Christmas, so you're going to have to wait until the end of 2026 to figure that one out. His name is Claus, and he is playing some Tsukuyomi here. His opponent today, in the left-hand corner, he is no longer on fire because he is iced, but he is a fox, and he is from the DoD clan. It's Firefox! Okay, he is playing as Isis here. Like I said, we're on the map Giza, and we found ourselves in a very, very interesting game here. This is one of the maps that Tsukuyomi players would pray to not have. I think this is a really, really, really good map here for Isis. So we'll see exactly what Firefox is going to be able to make of it. But back gold mine here. You've got a rhino on your second town center. You're going to have a whole bunch of goat to grab as well super quickly. If we take a quick look at the map here, you can already see 6 goats have been found. It's probably going to be 8 to 10 for the Isis. So it's a huge, very, very nice amount of food. There's even some hyena back here that you could potentially eat. Probably not going to be able to eat these zebra anytime soon, but those are going to be an availability. It just depends on what Firefox is going to be able to go for here. So this is looking like it's kind of the old ISIS build order. This is exactly what most ISIS players are going for. I will say there's some other options here. You can go for a much more fast classical age. Part of what makes a faster classical age good is that you can get your second town center down faster, which means you get that villager in quicker, that extra villager. So if I go for a 4-minute advance time, or even a 3-minute 44 advance time, I get the town center down straight away, that will net me more resources than if I grab this flood of the Nile super quickly. And you can also go for, like, I believe you can go for a 344, 342. What am I saying? Yes, 342. You can go for a 342 advance time with a very specific build order and get yourself Flood of the Nile delayed, but also get that town center up as soon as you hit that second age, which it's pretty finicky. It's a difficult build order to pull off, but if you don't pull it off, you just go for the 4-minute one, and that's still going to be plenty good and much more economy than the other than this one, in my opinion. Alrighty. So we do have the obelisks coming down here for Firefox and Inari Okami in for Claus. We really don't see many people going for the other option, which is weasels. You can do some interesting stuff. I got abused by Soup in one game where I was not playing very well, but this is a really good map to go for this type of that type of idea. Basically, you're just going for an all-out rush with the temple, and you can drop a new moon onto that temple, and you can pump out a whole bunch of weasels and just be in your opponent's base, mauling them while they take a very late advance time to the classical age. But that's not what we're seeing here from Claus. Claus playing a little bit more standard. Stable is up. It's going to be a couple of Naginata riders. This tends to be your like stock standard Tsukuyomi play at the moment. You want to get yourself out a couple of Naginata riders, maybe get yourself this technology as well, and start looking for raids, shutting down the priests with the obelisks, and just kind of make life very difficult for the Isis player. And you can see here that with this very late advance time that Firefox has done, he wants a town center. He absolutely wants this, but he's gonna lose quite a bit to go for it. And in fact, he's going to go for a barracks, get spearmen, and that's going to be hurting him quite a bit. Well, not hurting him, but slowing him down quite a bit. And we will see 4 spearmen coming through. And the other option is to just drop Plague of Serpents down here and get the priests in so you can snipe the Kitsune and then heal up the villagers that are getting shanked down by those Naginata riders. If you get enough priests out, you can kind of out-heal the damage with the extra units there to help. Now we'll see the Necropolis coming through. As a guardhouse gets dropped into the main base. for, I am going to guess, Bushy, because you need to have some sort of an answer for Anubite raids, which could come at any point. Now, Naginata Ride is a kind of a counter, especially when you get the upgrade for the Kitsune, kind of a counter to the Anubites, as the army does make its way over onto this town. So I know exactly what Firefox wanted to do here. It's just going to be later than he would have liked. But nonetheless, better late than never, I guess, as these Naginata Riders are just going to be hitting left, right, and center. It's so much fun to run on this left side, right side. Doesn't get a villager pick, but does cause a little bit of damage. They're great reactions from Firefox. He might want to just pop over onto the chickens for the moment and just leave his army all on one little side, because these villagers are very safe here underneath the town center for the time being. And then you just have to defend these bad boys. As you see, another barracks to come down, another barracks to come down. And this, to some degree, does actually play into the Tsukuyomi power here. The reason being is now we have to be super careful of sitting underneath a monument. We want to be putting the monuments up on the back here so we can protect our gold mine from getting swamp landed. And we really don't want to be getting hit by swampland in a bad spot there, as those Naginata Riders managed to pick off a villager. Still going to be advantage for our ISIS on 2TC, just pumping those out, but every little bit of villager kills does give that timing window, keeping that open. As Serpent Spear, Watchtowers, and some more units to come through. But realistically, I would love to see Firefox here just grabbing Watchtowers and walling up his base with houses and getting to the heroic age. Because he's going to run out of food. That's the big problem here. And in running out of food, you have to go for farms. That eats up your gold. And now all of a sudden, we're going to run out of this back gold mine while it's very safe. We're going to run out of this back gold mine and then need to push over onto this position or this position where a big power spike for a mythic age. A mythic age is going to be a thing. Like a full iron mythic age sort of push is going to be very, very tough to hold on to. Another little raid here, gets another villager pick. I'm still very surprised we haven't seen these houses going up. There's almost full pop here. Like walling off this, getting the houses off to here, walling the houses down to the bottom here, maybe a little wall here, protecting this tower. All that stuff seems very, very important there, as the Kitsune over onto this side does end up getting picked off, but does lose a priest for it. Meanwhile, over here, a little bit of an attempt of a raid. One of the really difficult things about playing against the really good Tsukuyomi is this Jiragumo is an amazing anti-raider. You pick up one unit, it's dead. So you've got to be super, super careful when you're running in with Spearmen. You can run in with the Anubites and things like that, but again, you can use the Miko to hold, and then also the Jiragumo to get that healing in, as the armory will come through. The Spearmen are just searching around for anything to pick off, and we will be seeing Sobek on the way. I don't mind the Sobek pick here. Nephthys does feel really, really good for us, just on the fact that we want to be going for potential, like you get that Nephthys to hold on with the ancestors. You get funeral rites as well, which is really, really big. And then you also get the priests in case Tengu start coming through. But on the flip side, going Sobek, you get yourself that sun-dried mud brick, which does allow you to play into a lot of Migdols. As the stable coming up, there's also the options of making Patsukos, which are very good too, as a monument to the soldiers to come down. Super important. This is must do, otherwise you get hit with that heroic age timing, as the armory upgrades have come through for Claus. You have to drop that new moon down onto the armory and then look for that big attack. Tengu is searching for damage and all the other good stuff here. Up onto the top side. Oh, the Shogun there getting converted up just before the Daimyo getting converted up just before it goes down, gets that full HP regen. Very nice usage of that god power there, as another Plague of Serpents. Actually, not another Plague of Serpents. Plague of Serpents does get dropped down onto this gold mine as a little bit of a safety. As Crenellation's also coming through. Firefox, one Migdol, does not yet have himself that second Migdol. I don't know if he just used prosperity or did he use that at the start? I can't even remember. Anyways, Migdol Stronghold coming up. As the Tengu makes its way over here, we'll see that Migdol. And realistically here, one very simple idea from the ISIS side of things is to just sack the town center in these sorts of positions. That being said, that option doesn't really apply here as these units are getting pushed back and Firefox is in a lot of trouble. He's only got the one Migdol. There's not that many units here for Claus as Locust does get dropped down. The Shogun onto the back here, going after that. Petsukos gets a Samurai spawn in as well, as this damage is very, very brutal, but it's looking like Firefox is holding to some degree just a little bit here. He's still got the villager advantage, so it's not all lost, and this Migdol is going to continue to survive. The villagers can just dive on into the Migdol stronghold, but more units are going to be flooding into this position as now Firefox has found himself... I thought he was okay, but he's found himself on a very, very tough spot. That being said, there's only like a handful of melee units here, so maybe he can hold. Villagers pop out, get some shanking actions happening in. The Migdol's getting some nice kills, starting to rack up a lot of those kills here as well. That's the Shiragumo. So much value on this bad girl. 4 kills already as the villagers back over onto the gold mine, now trying to heal up as the priest's coming through. Any spearmen on the way? Nope. But this is sort of why I think you need that second Migdol on this position as well. But for whatever reason here, Firefox just could not afford it. Because if you have 2 Migdols, then all of a sudden you can't just sit here and take this. I mean, still, that's 13 kills for this Migdol. He's holding on. But these Tengu are going to be able to pop over here and pick off even more villagers. The villagers up to the top now, grabbing this gold mine. And this damage here that Claus is doing... It's going to be a Migdol stronghold. It's going to be an extra 7 villagers, which does put us back into sort of an equal position. But so long as Firefox can get set up over here and get that top gold mine secured, he should be okay here. And he can also run with these villagers as well. He doesn't have to hang out here and just sack the villagers. And as I say that, the Naginata Riders are in hot pursuit as now Heavy is through as well. Prosperity for a second time gets dropped down here to help the villagers get a little bit more gold, but that will slow down any sort of Migdol stronghold spammage. I mean, you still look at this and you go, yeah, you've got no military, but really all Firefox needs is 2 Migdols down. Maybe 3 Migdols. Just don't even build any units, just buildings. Over onto this side, though, raids onto the wood villages is going to hurt. So the villagers have to pop into the town center, play defense. Little cheeky armory to come down as well. These villagers can pop up to this top gold mine. 1 Migdol is definitely just not going to be enough over here. Meanwhile, Claus drops himself a castle. Ideas of going to the Mythic Age they do tickle your fancy right now, being up a decent amount of military advantage as the Tsukuyomi, and then going up to full iron, giving your opponent a little bit of life and then just take it back for the next power spike. And there's that second Migdol we were talking about. This is enough here that this army is just not going to be it. I mean, maybe some Oyumi to push through this, but this is like giving a whole bunch of time over to Firefox to just get himself an army together, get his upgrades in, and be in a good spot. There's Claus making his way through the main base. He will be losing that Tengu there. Meanwhile, Shaft Mine coming through, and we will see some more Oyumi to come in. I am surprised to see Claus sticking it out in this heroic age, because your opponent is like full full turtling. Maybe a town center if you wanted to go this angle of Oyumi. Put a town center down and you can start poking away as you're trying to pick off villages and all that other good stuff. Firefox trying to lure this rhino back over here as well, but it's a little bit dangerous for those villages. There's no food left on the map, as farms are going to be needed to come down momentarily here. I don't think you can quite secure that rhino there. One annoying idea here for Claus would be to actually kill the rhino off, drag it over here or something. And now the Oyumi is on the way, and we'll see if Firefox can figure out a way back into this game. I don't think he's behind here. You look at the score and you go, he's massively behind, but realistically, he just needs time here. Time to get his units out, time to get his economy advantage in from all of these villages. He's going to need to get some farms in. He could buy food a little bit to keep his villager production afloat and just go fully into chariot archers. And sitting behind all of this, you can see the Miko over here as well. I want to look to snipe that one, but not going to be happening just yet. As the Naginata Riders charging forward. Is this Migdol shooting? It's not looking like it is. You want to try and fight here if possible, but it's all good for the moment as Claus cannot break this spot. There's too much defense here. Do you really want to be behind Japan? You don't have a choice. Japan, like, Tsukuyomi is the timing attack god, right? Like, you don't... This is something you have to understand. In being a timing attack god, this means that you're, like, playing against a timing attack god, your options are to play defense. Timing, like, what beats a timing attack? Well, good defense beats a timing attack. So play good defense. And that involves good building placement, not losing units too badly on any of the power spikes, holding out, and trying to survive. That's what it is. Well, if you can break the big timing, then sure, you can go that way as well. Like, big rushes have been very successful versus Tsukuyomi as well, right? But that's not an option for every god, especially not for Isis. The Claus now does opt in for that second town center. He is behind on the economy, on the income, but he's still got somewhat of an advantage here. And Firefox trying to find maybe a little bit too much value out of his chariot archers. A little bit of shoot and scoot, it's fine, but you definitely don't want to sit on them at all. As soon as he turns and fight, you have to pull back. He is going to be going for that here. And Claus looking for some more raids. Any little bit of villager kills here is going to level out that villager differential and help Claus sort of not have to worry about needing to kill the ISIS before the ISIS comes online, which it is ever so slowly doing. As these villagers pull back. There's that crenellations in. There is boiling oil. Obviously watchtowers as well, but these are heavy units with full bronze, so they will stay alive for quite a while on the side of the main town, main base. You almost have to think about them as like knights from Age of Empires 2 or something. So now the Osiris is... Oh, Thoth is pretty cute. I don't mind either option here for the Isis. Thoth is actually... quietly a really, really nice late game god, which is what you're probably playing for in this position as the Isis. Just on the fact that you get this Tusks of Apidamark, and you can go into a whole bunch of elephants, which are just going to be cheaper population and super, super strong. So this does make some sense. Obviously, the Valley of the Kings helps you catch up a little bit on the resource problems. As these chariot archers getting caught out. Firefox trying to get raids in and stuff. He's taking a lot more damage than he's able to really deal here. There's another Migdol up onto the back for the time being, and Claus is saying it's time to get in here and get this damage done as the units are falling. And Firefox has yet again found himself in a position where he doesn't have any military. for more Oyumi to make their way through as the Migdol's slowly getting taken down. Another Migdol onto the back here as Firefox is desperately trying to just survive. You do have to remember he does have that sun-dried mud brick, so these are 450 gold Migdols. So villagers pop out. They pull back into the main base. And up to the top, these Yumi archers still looking for more stuff to do. There's only 2,000 gold left over here. There is still a 4,300 gold mine over onto this side as well, though. So Firefox can make his way there and start making that happen. While this is all going on, the one thing that Firefox does have going for him is he's got his farm set up. On the other side, Claus has got 11 set up, but he's still got food on the main on the map. Camel Riders searching for villagers to pick off and all the other good stuff. So Oyumi will slowly be breaking through these buildings. Armory situation as the bronze weapons coming through, bronze shields, a couple of Petsukos on the way here as well. You've got to be so careful with these Oyumi as well. You get out of position for one little second. You can almost lose one, if not lose all of them. And once the Petsukos are in, that completely puts a stopper in these Oyumi. Especially if they're Petsubek, because 24 range versus 26 range or something? 28 range? I can't remember. But they can absolutely demolish those Oyumi as Firefox still trying to just get sorted out here as Camel Riders popping out of those Migdol strongholds straight to their death. But the losses here for Claus are substantial as Firefox almost up to bronze shields, almost caught up on that armory. And he's managed to stay alive. He's managed to defend all of this. And in fact, he's taken the score lead. He's in front on villagers by 10 only. And now where to for Claus? He's still making these cavalry units. He's going in for at least some of these very, very important Yati spearmen. But what are you going to do next is the big question if you are Claus. Firefox as well needs to be thinking where to next as well, because he needs to secure this gold mine in the top corner. The big problem for Firefox is going to be population coming later, but he is ISIS, and ISIS does get that extra little bit of pop. You can go up to like 200 pop off of 2 town centers. I think he's missing 2 houses here, 1 house here, and then you can get your fortified town centers as well, and that can at least allow you to compete 2 versus 3 town centers. In fact, even without fortified town centers, he's only 5 pop behind, so it's not even that big of a deal. Wow. This is a incredibly ballsy, all-in raid. These villagers can just pop into the castle, and then the rest of this army can just turn, catch Firefox out of position again, and absolutely erase this army. What is Firefox doing? On the one hand, while going for this raid, he's securing his gold mine, which is really, really important. But on the other hand, he's about to gift Santa Claus, possibly full champion here, Bushido tier 4, after all these units fall. The wall doesn't get completed, so he's going to be able to escape a little bit here. I'm surprised he didn't lose more than that. That was such a ballsy play from Firefox. No, so if he goes pure Camel Rider, he will be able to win this fight, but then the Yati Spearmen come through, so you do need to make some Chariot Archers just in case, or you need Petsukos. Like, Petsukos Camel Rider is probably your like bread and butter comp, but it's so gold heavy that it's not really feasible.
You need to.
Is there a market up? Selling food right now as Firefox is a must here. It's also sneak. Wow, that is also ballsy. Sneaking this gold mine. This is a Claus gold mine through and through, but sneaking that one away and taking that gold from Claus helps out for that late game immensely. As Thoth on the way. Okuninushi is pre-queued as a secondary. Swampland does come down, but Swampland is one of those god powers. Now, OP, not OP, I don't really care. The idea of this god power is you should not stand on top of this god power. Get away from it. As Claus does manage to take the win on this fight yet again. But yet again, he has to break through these Migdols, which are just sitting here and saying, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to just push into this. This is not going to happen. I am more than fine here, says one Mr. Ice Fox, the DOD man. As Claus probably overstaying his welcome. He is taking damage from this Migdol as well as the Chariot Archers, and he has to pull back now. But yeah, like I said, Orkaninushi is going to come through, which means full iron immediately for Claus. On the other side, Firefox has to get himself champion archers, probably champion elephants. You can probably stop thinking about going for camel riders here. And then he also needs to go for... He probably could drop a prosperity at the moment, to be honest. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. Because mine out all this gold as fast as possible. This gold mine will be expired. Then again, Phoenix are not a terrible idea here either. Because the only answer for Phoenix are going to be Bushi or Onmyoji. And both of those are going to be taken out very easily by Chariot Archers. So Phoenix make a lot of sense here as well, but we'll see which way that favor is going to get spent. As the Sacred Gate comes through. New Moon onto the Armory. No surprises there. But for the moment, there doesn't seem to be any timings or anything to be using with this advantage. Full Champion's going to be in for Firefox. He's getting himself that Valley of the Kings as well, which helps basically give resources over to Firefox. Gives him double unit production. That's going to be nice. As the champion units are now in for Claus. He is up to that 4th tier of Bushido. And his units are looking very, very scary. But push off the gold mine for now. Armory upgrades are not on the way just yet for Firefox. Definitely needs to be getting those sorted out as soon as he possibly can. Actually, I am so wrong on this. He's got bonus damage versus myth units inside of the Yumi Horse Archers. Yeah, you can't make Phoenix here. Oh, I'm so stupid. That's a silly tech. I gotta go out on a limb and say that's a silly tech. Nonetheless, a little bit of a fight going on here as a secondary swampland, third swampland, excuse me, comes down. That one's from the Sacred Gate. But Firefox smartly here pulls back. He's going to be able to reproduce his units quickly. He's got a little catapult out that he can start sieging this town center with. And yet again, it's looking like while Claus is getting some good damage done, Firefox is just holding it all. Still playing a turtle game, still holding on, still in a good spot. Town center over here going to be going down. Over onto the back here now, the Camel Riders going to come through and try and deal with this Oyumi here. Got the dojos coming up for Claus as well as a Shogun will come through. That's going to mean a little bit of Samurai, but I mean, at this point in the game, the Samurai just aren't that helpful. Thanks so much for the 13 months, CS Gooba. Happy New Year, my friend. Now the Omuraki on the way with a little cheeky Restless Army technology to come in as well. And we'll see if Firefox can make his way through all of this pain. I mean, the one thing that's going for Firefox is that Claus has only got this gold mine. That's the only gold mine Claus has got left. Like, where else can he get gold? He needs to start a trade route. And he's got security of the corner as well, which is a really, really big deal. As the Omuraki does end up getting cleaned up. Not the best control there from Claus. Realistically, you just want to shoot the army in and then pull the guy back and wait for it to get its special attack back up and then go again. He can get gold from the Omuraki. That's very true. Get this technology, make a whole bunch of Omuraki, and then you have infinite gold, as long as you can have something to attack. But Firefox now out of gold on the top. He's got a little bit over here, 500. Definitely wants to mine that out. This gold mine here, 1,500 remaining. A couple of units popping out to defend here as the Migdol stronghold. These archers are literally drunk. Like, I don't know what you guys are watching, but look at these arrows. They are incredibly drunk inside of this Migdol stronghold. Someone needs to lay off the wine, I think. As the Plague Bringer on Meraki sees a couple of priests, immediately pulls back, but then straight in, sends that special in. Now the wretches, they start making short work of these chariot archers on the front line. The villagers over here going to be going down. But that being said, I don't think Firefox needs to care about that. He's got 14 camel caravans. Replacing villagers with camel caravans is a nice way through here. As the siege works to come in. The gold, however, for Claus is now finished. He's got 10 deer caravans going from a pretty unfortunate spot on the map right now. Only 34 gold a trip. As the town center still under attack. Heavy catapults is in with that siege engineers. As Firefox he's not producing out of these migdols, and I think the reason is that he's just trying to get maximal amount of value out of the gold that he's got here, which makes a lot of sense. That being said, he's probably going to get more value out of just having his units out on the map in more of a mass, but nonetheless, does manage to take the town center down onto the bottom side. A little bit of attempts to pick off these catapults that Firefox is probably trying to take out this town center as well. Sometimes you stretch yourself a little bit too thin by going for these sorts of plays before your trade route is fully set up. But at the moment, 17 trade caravans, 2 markets producing slowly. And Firefox seemingly pulling away with this game. I'm really not sure what else Claus can do here. With 0 gold, with a poor trade route, 2 TCs, not much remaining, losing his bushy, and everything else here. This town center is going to go into the back pocket of Firefox very, very shortly here as well. Especially when that gold comes in. He can pull off the Migdol stronghold as well and pop over onto the market for even more economy. Or more gold income. As these units still charging over to deal with this Migdol stronghold, but there's no gold mine. I mean, you want this corner for the trade route. So it makes sense to be pushing this. But you're going to give up so much more to go over onto that spot. Claus, maybe just a market there to this town center wouldn't go astray. That's probably it. And then holding this spot, pushing back, getting 4 town centers. The military difference is now very much in favor of Firefox. And Claus does not seem to be able to do a whole lot with his armory advantage. As the Plague Bringer on Meraki versus the world here gets pulled back. And we'll finally see, I think, this Migdol stronghold falling. A couple of villagers. Nope, the villagers want that market up a little bit too fast. They get erased. Firefox is up to now 22 camel caravans, still very slowly getting these bad boys out. Selling of resources. You can sell food here still for a little bit, but as the army moves in, sees the market here, you can start taking out those deer caravans and living the dream. See what Meraki do. Send those wretches back down. Does he have the tech in yet? He still doesn't. No ivory net scare for that late game gold income. That's what we need. We need that ivory net scare. Iron Shield's now coming through for Firefox finally. He's going to be able to start getting those upgrades in to make his army even more powerful. But after all is said and done, Claus just not able to shut the ISIS out. I mean, this game was sort of... I feel like this game should be somewhat eye-opening for a lot of players in terms of how this plays out, where the strength in Tsukuyomi lies, and what you want to be trying to do when you play versus this god. So, quite clearly, the strength in Tsukuyomi is the timing attack. Smack, they hit you. They've got more stuff than you. They're gonna have a really strong army. The only problem is they don't have any way to push. You need Oyumi out, which means you need a castle out, which is very expensive. 600 plus the 10 favor, 700-ish resources. Then you need to get the Oyumi out, and they're really slow. And they don't do that much damage. So if you want to be able to take down a Migdol stronghold, it's very, very tough to do that. And as soon as there's 2, then all of a sudden, all I got to do is sit behind my Migdol stronghold and play defense there. And then what are you going to do? You have to get a whole bunch of Oyumi over there to push that. So the name of the game here, and this is for Egyptians, it might not be for every other civ, but for Egyptians is get your Migdols up, play defense, get yourself equalized, stop throwing away units, and catch up on the tech, and then you're in front. Nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you hit the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.